This week the weather's looking a bit better, so hopefully we're going to get some solar panels and some roof vents up on the roof and secured in. Hence why I've put the awning up. This first job is to cut some frames for the roof fans.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure she'll do something helpful and productive. Build the frame, I'm just going to make some 45-degree cuts which we can join into a box. So this side I've left 2mm gap, which is where the blade is going to go, and then once I've got one piece and checked it fits, I'll just use that as a template for all the others. After finding out our 45 degrees on the miter saw isn't actually quite 45 degrees, we've managed to get this box shape, so it's not glued yet, but that's roughly what it will look like. So this is the flange that will go on the roof, so hopefully we'll get that installed tomorrow. So we're just going to glue this up now, nice and sturdy, so that will give something to screw the flange into from the roof.
We are now going to glue our pieces of wood together with Toit Bond. Yeah, so obviously because this is freshly cut wood, it is porous, so some of the glue that you put on can actually absorb into the wood. So you should do what we're doing now, just put a first coat on, just a nice thin coat, and give it a few seconds so that if anything is going to absorb, it absorbs in, and then you can put a bit more on to make sure you've got a really solid join.
Just got the frame out to test fit it against the hole, and it kind of just fell apart on us, so we're going to re-glue it. So here it looks like there's like no glue at all, so I think it all got absorbed in, so we'll just re-glue that so it should hold in place. I mean, once it's up there, it will be screwed in from above everywhere, so the glue will be less important at that point, but just to keep it together, we'll re-glue it for now.
We've drawn some colourful lines on the roof, lines and dots. So this morning we are measuring and hopefully fitting the roof part of our Maxxair roof fan. We have a KI40 model. So this line here, the red line is an inner line, and this green line is an outer line, and the little dots mark the 40cm cutouts that we're going to need to actually fit the fan into. And the reason we've had to kind of do it this way is because the fan design on the bottom looks like this. So you have an inner lip here and you have an outer lip here. So the inner lip is about 355, and the outer lip is designed for the 400 cutout. Now because we have the KI40, the 400 model, it means you can't really just draw markers around the inside, because when this sits on the roof you can't get to the lip that you actually need. So we've kind of measured the outside, measured the inside, found the midpoint, which are these little dots here, horizontal and vertical midpoints, and then measured from those out the 20cm either side to make the 40cm square cutout. We do give you a little bit of wiggle room anyway. We're going to probably mastic tape up here, so it should all be sealed. We are, or Alex is, about to cut the slash drill the pilot hole for the roof fan, and then we're going to go inside and have a little check, make sure it looks like it's going in through the right place inside, And then it's on to the cutting. And that's about what happened last time. If you want to get hole saws, buy a decent set, because these are rubbish. We're going to go with the step drill bits again.
So the hole has now been cut and filed. So we taped a plastic bag up on the inside, which has actually seems to have worked quite well to collect all the schwarf and all the little bits of kind of metal that fly off, which otherwise would have just gone all over the inside of the van. So I've got to go and take that down very carefully now. Very careful. It fits.
We are Sikaflexing all the way around the frame we built yesterday. We've re-glued it together. Don't think the glue is fully set yet, so it might be a bit awkward getting it into place, but we really want to get this fan on before it gets dark today. After rather a lot of faff, we have our frame clamped in position. It's been Sikaflexed, so we're just waiting for that to dry. In a second we're going to remove those clamps. You can see we've started to build the sides up with mastic tape. We've actually just run out of mastic tape. So really we should have continued building all of this up and had a strip along here. But what we're going to do instead is use a whole load of Sikaflex on the underneath to try and seal off any gaps. And order some more mastic tape. While we were waiting for everything to dry, I went a bit mad with the paint on the roof, as you can see. So we had loads of tiny little rust spots up here. We think they were either already there when we picked up the van, or maybe they've developed from the schwarf that came off when we cut into the windows, and then because it was slightly windy, maybe they flew up onto the roof and started to rust. And they were literally pinpricks, but we thought while we had the paint out on the roof, we might as well deal with them anyway. So our roof is now looking a little bit splotchy. This side is in.
The screw hole, my screw holes don't look very lined up. I honestly can't see.
Oh, I definitely can't see a screw hole through there.
No, I don't think mine is aligned very well.
I don't even know where the screw holes are on my side, if I'm being honest.
Press on the front there. The roof fan is in. It's not fully secured yet, so hopefully you can see here. We've boxed it in, so we put our fan too close to the side of the van, so this one wouldn't go flat like the others. So there's still a lot of silicone on that side, which we tried to dry off but couldn't. And then we had to very quickly hack the ends off because it was cut at an angle like these, but then it wouldn't fit. And then under there, so we've now got one screw poking through there, not into the wood, but it doesn't seem to have actually caused any problems. And there's one more on the other side in there. All the others seem to have worked quite well. When it got late, it got dark last night when we were trying to finish the fan. The last 4 screw holes just wouldn't line up. So we'll go back up to the roof today and try and get that finished off. And this one over here, but they don't line up with the flange inside, so we'll have to work out why they're misaligned. So if your fan won't sit right and you can't line the holes up, what may have happened is these metal clips have gone down. So I've got just an angle bracket here. If you just lever them up slightly, hopefully now you can see that's slightly more raised, and I've raised this one up. So now the metal is actually above this plastic lip slightly. There's only one thing left to do now, and that's the grand unveiling of the fan. So, job done finally.
Hey, it's solar panel day today. These are our panels. Obviously they're currently upside down.
Yep, so we're going to attach mounts to each corner, so we've got 4 mounts per panel, and then we've actually got 4 panels, but we're going to do 2 today, and we're going to do the 2 at the front today. So we'll then hoist them up onto the roof and secure them down. Let's get cracking. So the mounts we bought, we're going to mount them like that. So these will then have holes drilled in. So this will basically be where the roof sits. Put a bolt through here, so all of that came with our kit, so these are the bolts that will go through here. And then when we do the bolt, I'm just going to use a bit of thread locker. So the bolt goes through the mount, and then you've got the normal washer, followed by the offset washer, and then finally the nut. So that is a spring washer or something, and what that does is when it's tightened up, that then puts weight on like one side of the nut, which makes it harder for the nut to undo itself, so it's an added layer of security.
I fully let go.
And it's on the roof.
In the arms of the angel.
Just put some mastic tape here, just to raise this height to the height of this. And Aisha's doing one over there, so it's quite simple. It's very easy to cut, and it's very sticky. So then you've got the kind of protective tape to just push it down nice and securely before you peel that top layer off.
What layers did I do over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers over here.
You've got 5 here at the moment.
That's right, don't look high enough. Glue all coming out the wrong end of the tube.
The back of the glue exploded, so we're squeezing it out the back now. Just brushing it onto this mastic tape.
And thankfully it doesn't dry too quickly, hence why I'm not worried about getting it all over my fingers. heated up the positive and the negative for one set of wires on the panels, because these are going to be wired in series. The other two we can't wire up yet, but to make sure that they are kind of don't get damp or wet, we're going to just tape them over with a bit of ripped up bin bag and some duct tape. Now that the glue and everything has had a full chance to cure, I'm going to give them a bit of a shove test. So let's see how that goes. If they go flying off the roof, well, we'll know our glue wasn't very good, or we didn't bolt them properly. Alright, ready? Feet on, and... Ooh, that was me on the sit mat, don't worry.
This is the finished product of our solar panel mounts. So we've got the butyl mastic tape we used to kind of raise it to the same height everywhere. And then we glued on here, so there's a bit of glue residue on the outside, as you'd expect. And then we used these self-tapping stainless steel screws which came with it, and there's a little plastic insert just there which is supposed to create a waterproof seal as well. So they all came with the solar panel mounts. Aisha's just given them a good shove test and they didn't budge, so that's all very good. And then we'll probably just Sikaflex over each of these bolts just for extra waterproofing and longevity, and to make it slightly harder to steal. Because yesterday, for the first time, we heard about somebody having the solar panels just stolen straight off their roof. But hopefully, because we've got the glue as well, that will make the bolts much harder to come out. At some point we will need to sort out this wiring. I don't really like the fact it's just duct taped on. So we'll probably unplug it at some point, but you should never disconnect them while the panels are under load. So if we do that, we'll have to cover the solar panels. And then I might try and run the wire kind of under here and under there and connect them up just to make it all a bit neater.
Fitting the second roof fan was pretty similar to the first, except we did learn from our mistakes, and this time left enough room to fit the frame in, and also made sure we used plenty of glue and left it enough time to dry so the frame actually hung together.
It still wasn't completely paintless though, and we had a different problem this time.
So I've just come out to the van this morning, and as you see there's quite a lot of water in it, and this appears to be the cause. So there's obviously water getting in here around our roof fan, which we fit on Saturday. We were then busy Sunday. It's now Monday morning and it has rained quite a lot in between. So I guess I'll have to go and reseal the fan, but it looks like the rest of the wood is all dry. So it's only coming in at the back. And so it's probably pooling up there because we're parked slightly downhill here, which is a bit annoying. So we'll get up there, we'll reseal it, and hopefully we'll fix that problem. I've just dried it off up here. There was quite a bit of water pooled here because it can't go anywhere. So my best guess is here. It looks like there's quite a big gap. But it wasn't still dripping, but the water was still kind of raised up. So I guess it's only getting in when it gets above a certain level. So it may even be like that one or that little gap. But we'll just try and seal over all of them.
Today we are putting on the second pair of solar panels. Alex is just heading up to dry out the area because it's a little bit damp today. But this is the second pair that we've done. So in theory we know what we're doing now, and this should be an efficient and painless day.
on.
Right. We are currently up on the roof, and I was just about to kneel to get off the ladder, and when, ooh, my knees hurt. Where's our other kneel pad gone? There's one over there, but the other one we couldn't see on the roof, and I've looked off the van, and I couldn't see it off the van on the floor either, and we suddenly went, oh wait, we haven't left it under the solar panel, have we? And unfortunately, now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but that is exactly what we have done.
Ooh.
The other two we can't connect yet, so just to make sure. Excuse you, bless you. Dead centre.
That one's not the centre. That's the fake centre. That's the real
Dead centre.
How quickly are the viewers going to cotton on to the fact that we just bicker non-stop?
I am the shot. Ooh, that's from a front-facing camera, isn't it?